All right, guys, today we're going to go over how to build the piece that you see here. It's in isometric and they're messing with you a little bit as far as the way that the dimensions are being shown. You can work your way through it. You just got to think it through. And so that's what we're going to do today. So at the bottom, you'll see that note, overall height 1.75, all chamfers are 45 degrees, and this slot is centered on the part. It is actually symmetrical, so that helps us. So let's get that sorted out on Fusion. And I'm going to start a new one because the announcements went off in the middle of the one I was doing, and that's fine. All right, so we're here. I'm going to start a sketch on the top plane. And I'm going to go to under rectangle. There's a center rectangle. This allows us to keep everything symmetrical and centered. Just helpful. The next thing I'm going to do is put in dimensions. So on the paper, it said that the full length would be 5.125. And the width would be 2.75. And I can finish sketch. Then I'm going to go ahead and extrude it. And we're going up. And I'm going to go to the total extrude. So we're going to cut away once we have the block. The other thing we could do is we could grab the information that we need from the block ahead of time here. So maybe we want to do that. So let's go up and do 1.75. And I'm going to hit OK. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to modify. And we're going to do physical material. And it says on this one that it wants it to be mild steel. So if I go down into my metals, see what we got. I'm sure we have steel. Hopefully we have mild steel. We'll find out when we get down here. Yep, right here. So I'm going to go right ahead and drag that on there. And now it's mild steel. They look similar. This was steel. This is mild steel, but they wanted mild steel. So we want to make sure that we have the right one. So I'll hit close. And then I'm going to hit save. We're going to call this model 1. And the assignment is 212, right? Okay. So now that we have this, you can actually go through and get the mass of this ahead of time. The other thing you can do is you can change your timeline later and do that as well. So I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. So it wants us to know how much material we've lost. So we need to know the mass prior to and density prior to before, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Blah, 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 before we cut away. So if I go here to the body, or if I go here to the model actually, you're going to see all of this information, including properties. And because I made it that mild steel, you should have all of this information here that you need, okay? So when you go back to do the math later, it exists, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away those pieces that we need to cut away. So I'm going to go here and just draw on the front, on that face of it. I would consider this the front face. I'm going to draw a rectangle that connects from this line all the way here. And I'm going to do a construction line that starts from the origin and goes up straight so that we're using the triangle of the full line. And if I did that correctly, let's see. If I do this with this, it'll tie that into that. So now when we do our dimensions, everything shouldn't be blue anymore. So here we're going to go ahead and make this 0.625. Nope, it didn't do it, so we'll have to go back. And it made this one 0.75. It says 750, but it's going to give you that either way, right? So what it did was we're still midpoint on everything, but this is not vertical. So let's go ahead and this is horizontal vertical. If you're used to on-shape, those are separate. And this one, it's the same, and it's the closest to the direction that it's going. All right, so that locked it all in, and we're in good shape. The other thing it has is that chamfer And we can do that just here. We don't have to do we don't have to go in and do a chamfer from the directions on the solid modeling. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and do a line tool. And I'm going to take one, this is in, get rid of that construction line. I'm just going to click it from one side to the other. The dimension from here to here, this is where you have to be able to read that isometric. And it's hard. It's not easy to read the isometric. But for this, the dimension would be 1. Now the direction from there also, it says 45-degree chamfer, right? So we're going to do this as 45. And what we figured out in a different class is if you go in the other direction, this will be 45 as well. So even though it's a driven constraint, you can just see once you type the 45 in, it sticks together. Then we're going to go ahead and mirror it. And you have your objects and your mirror lines. So let's go ahead with the object. And then let's go with the mirror line. Okay. Then I'll hit Finish Sketch. And let's extrude. So I'm just extruding through these pieces. And it'll naturally do a cut because I pulled it through like that. And we can hit OK. So in the other direction, it cuts the other way as well. So I'm going to go to front view. And no, you know what? Let's do a chamfer in the other direction just to kind of mess with things and try the chamfer out and see what you think. So if we drop down on modify, there is chamfer. And I'm going to go with this and this. And we're going to say it has to go down. How do you know that it goes down to the 75 though? Oh, because you subtract. So here we have 175 and it's 75. So we're going to go down 1 inch. So we're coming from the top down 1, and that should make it that 75, which it did. So that's great. And let's hit OK on that and do the other side. We could have done it maybe at the same time, but it's OK. And then again, this side and that side. We're going down from the top 1, which leaves us with 75 because 1 minus 1.75 is 0.75. All right, so now we have the actual build. If I go ahead and hit isometric, it looks exactly like our technical drawing. So now when you go back, you're going to go back into those properties. So right click here. Oh, and hit save again. And it should save version 2 now, right? So we're going to say cut away. Okay. So now if I go to my properties, right click, you now have the new mass, volume, density, everything you need. What you can do is, can I move this within? Can I do that? And will it change it? No. Okay. So then when we go here and we go back, there's your old mass, volume, density. So you can go back and forth. So 111 minus, I mean, obviously you want the whole thing, but there it is. 81 or 82, you know. So once you go ahead and do your math on this, you'll be able to answer the problems. So that's all there. So we're going to hit save so that we've saved it. All right. And you can answer the problems that you need for this assignment. Good luck.